takes the first pitch strike from S.J. Guerin. Holtorf hit home run number 3 on the season in yesterday's game. It was a 2-run home run in the top of the second that gave the Gators a 2-0 lead. And go on to win it 10-0.
Not too bad a production from your 9-hole hitter, huh? You have 357 average. He can turn that lineup over. I mean, 1 through 9, that is what makes this Gators offense so tough. They have a lot of different tools. They have that speed. Obviously, they have that pop.
One ball, 2 strikes on Holtorf. 2 hits in game 1, 2 hits yesterday. 4 hits in the series for Holtorf, batting for the first with Falby's speed.
Well, and this is one where Anna Wohlers, this is your ball all day, and they collide. You never like to see it, but as a pitcher, I want that momentum of the third baseman to be able to go, especially with the speed of Kendra Falby up the line, right, Mark? Like, for the left-handed pitcher to be able to take it, turn, get her body where it needs to be. I think SJ needs to allow Anna Wohlers to have that ball all day.
Yeah, as quickly as Wohlers was going to get to that ball, again, you don't have a great chance to throw out Falby, but she had a chance if she doesn't collide with Guerin and gets that ball quickly and makes a throw to first base. I mean, anytime the ball hits the infield dirt off the bat of Falby, I mean, the clock's ticking, and it's not very long. It is a base hit for Falby, so that's her second hit of the game. Now here's Saturday's SEC Network Softball quadruple header next Saturday. It features 5 ranked teams, including number 1 Texas. We started with number 21 Ole Miss and number 11 South Carolina at noon Eastern. Then it's Auburn, Kentucky, followed by Tennessee, Mississippi State, and the day capped off by Texas. Top-ranked Texas now, and Mizzou from Columbia, Missouri. And a great day of softball coming up Saturday here on SEC Network. You and I, Danielle, will get the chance to see number 1 Texas and Mizzou on that Saturday from Mizzou Softball Stadium.
It'll be the first time for me getting to be there in person. You're going to have to show me the ropes. Heard it's quite nice.
Facility is very nice. You'll love the booth. Columbia, Missouri, be happy to show you around. I've only spent thousands and thousands of hours in that city over the years. Shoemaker, this is a dangerous spot right here for the Tigers. 2 on, nobody out. Just in that early 2-0 lead. First time up, she hit a low line drive that was turned into a double play in first. This is Holtorf and Falby 60 feet apiece. And 2 in scoring position. Jocelyn Erickson, the Gators catcher.
And you could just tell how this whole weekend has gone with Jocelyn Erickson. They don't want her to beat them, and this is kind of one of those situations with that tying run on second base, with her already having 7 walks and 2 hit by pitches in the weekend. These aren't even close, these last 2 pitches. You see Aubrey Lisenby, she's all the way in the other batter's box, and I don't know if this is a just pitch to get her on first base, bases loaded situation. Let's try to get out of it. But at times you're in those types of situations with certain hitters where no matter what, those are the hitters you do not want to beat you. And kind of seems like maybe Jocelyn Erickson is that hitter this weekend for the Florida Gators.
And by working around here with first base open, you're going to take the left-handed bat. Halen giving them a 3-2 lead. 37th RBI for Kinley, yeah.
And it makes you think, how long is the leash, right? With S.J. Guerin and that one time through the lineup, what's kind of that plan of attack for the pitchers today here for Auburn? I love the timeout called by Aubrey Lisenby to be able to go out and try to calm her pitcher down. But clearly you're seeing a whole different inning right out of the gate, starting off with Riley Holtorf in that base hit, and then Kendra Falby, the little defensive miscue between Guerin and Anna Woolers, to then that free pass of Erickson and a couple clutch ABs by Reagan Walsh and Kenley Cahalan.
There's Mia Williams, hit by pitch an inning ago. By the way, for Cahalan, gets credit for an RBI single, takes second on the throw. Well, it's second and third, still only one out. Couple of infield hits began the inning for the Gators. Walsh a two-run double, Cahalan an RBI base hit. Florida has quickly erased that two-run deficit. Well, homers for Mia Williams. 12 came in game one of this series on Friday night. Maybe a little high.
Maybe, Mark. And at times, a little bit later on in games is where you see sometimes Auburn's staff at times struggle a little bit, whether it's the base on balls or the hit by pitches, the free passes against tough offenses end up coming to hurt you. And you could say the same thing on the flip side. If you have a bunch of walks and hit by pitches against an Auburn offense, they're going to find a way to produce because you're giving up those free passes. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for Auburn right now when it comes to the pitching department. You're seeing adjustments being made by Florida this second time through, not swinging at the changeup nearly as much, forcing her to have to bring something a little bit harder in the zone, which she does with the curveball. But once she gets to 0-2, what's your plan of attack? How can you attack that strike zone but still not give them anything too sweet, get them to swing at your pitch instead of forcing you to bring something up and in around the zone?
Can't get her to expand the zone there. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Corby Otis. Corby Otis last year in her first season with the Gators, all SEC first team, was a first team All-American. She had 434. It was the second best single season batting average in Florida school history. She led the SEC in hitting.
Patient, she works the count, waits for something, does some damage, and pulls that curveball in on her hands.
So the 9th batter to come up in the inning for Florida is the DP, Ava Brown. Tim Walton wants to talk with his team, so get the timeout on the offensive side here. Also allows Lisenby and Guerin to kind of talk about a game plan for pitching to Brown. A couple of infield hits got it started here for Florida, and they've just expounded on that.
And I feel like when they unleash, they unleash. I mean, this is the 5th time this weekend that Florida's scored 3+ runs in an inning. It's not like they're just getting one and done. They're finding a way to just like kind of shift the momentum of the game, what it seems. Auburn jumped ahead early in that 1st inning, and now Florida has just really poured it on. But to me, like I've said, it's just been a difference of a plan of attack against S.J. Guerin. You saw them swinging at pitches more down in the zone, that changeup, that first time through the lineup. They're a different offense. And it kind of reminds me of talking to Coach Tim Walton after that UCF game, the midweek game where they lost. And the mentality was, hey, what was the message to your group after? He goes, man, they were just not a happy group. We didn't even talk on the bus ride home. But to me, it was with Isabella Vega and UCF, they made 0 offensive adjustments. But you're not seeing that here.
One ball is 2 strikes. And Ava Brown, you saw Kate Malveaux came out. Evidently the communications watch was an issue for Guerin, so we got her a different one. We're getting a pitch call from the dugout. Runs across, and Auburn trying to limit the damage here. Bases loaded, 1 out. They've already picked up a couple of double plays defensively today, the Tigers have. They would love a 3rd one here. Or a strikeout, something to stem the tide. A chance, but it drops out of reach. McCrary, Wohlers, and Peralta.
A lot of positive reinforcement from Aubrey Lisenby behind the plate, and she's just continuing to keep being there for her pitcher. I know she's had her issues with being able to throw the ball to the pitcher, but she just
maybe a product of sitting in the dugout for so long, but nonetheless, like you say, not what you wanted to see. She was her 2nd free pass. The other came to Tresvik, leading off the bottom of the 1st, and here's Isis again.
Here we go, Auburn! Here we go! Here we go, Auburn! Here we go! Here we go, Auburn! Here we go!
Well, that's 6 straight out of the zone, and I think that's enough that Erickson's like, yeah, we got to do something to break this up. While we have a moment, let's just kind of break down the changes mechanically in the swing from last year to this year for Isis.
Yeah, looking at last year, you see a lot more kind of in legs, but 2025, a little bit more sound to then just explosive with that leg kick. You see that power through the zone, and you always love to see when coaches come in that have just such an offensive mindset brain, and to see that shift a little bit. You've seen some differences in the numbers of Isis Tresvik. Home runs are up, as well as the RBI production. And talking with Coach Chris Malveaux, that was something. He said, hey, like Isis Tresvik and Elia Peralta, at times we're going to go as they go. And those two got off to what you would call, Mark, probably one of the hottest starts ever when you think about those two in Clearwater to the first 11 games of the season, like almost unrealistic numbers it felt like they put up. And eventually you're going to get humbled in SEC play. But he said at times it's been the mentality talk that we've had to have with them to just, hey, it's okay if you go 0 for 3. You can't change who you are as a person or a player, but you have to be able to take the good and the bad that the game throws your way, because you have to trust your stuff. You put in the off-season work. You see the difference in the numbers, but understand that when you are putting up such good numbers, teams are going to find a way to pitch you a little bit differently, and you're seeing them do that on the flip side for Jocelyn Erickson, right? Prime example. They want no part of her.
Well, they are making a pitching change. Ava Brown, who's been the DP, now just going to slip into the circle for the Gators.
And I like this with 4 quick balls by Kara Hammock to bring in Ava Brown, has the mid-60s. She has to just trust her stuff coming into this situation, trust her defense, can spread the zone, can go upstairs if she needs. But at this point, it's being able to come in and be efficient, throw good quality pitches.
She inherits a 2-ball, no-strike count on Tresvik. There is a strike. Brown, who pitched in game 1 of this series, 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, a couple of strikeouts, 47 pitches on Friday.
Let's go 3.
Comes in throwing strikes. 2-0 to 2-2. Aces of the season successfully and gets caught for a first time.
And you see Aubrey Lisenby, I don't know if maybe she was trying to take advantage of that situation with her maybe not being comfortable throwing it back to the pitcher, but an absolute dart by Lisenby on the money.
That is the 4th would-be base stealer thrown out by Lisenby this year. But back to the Gators. Offensively, this is certainly a team that you can see going to Oklahoma City. Now, is this a team that has like a Hannah Rogers or a Lauren Hager or a Kelly Barnhill or a Alicia Casio? Probably not. Will the pitching be enough to get them there?
Well, I think so. I think if Keegan Rothrock is healthy, she threw over 252 innings last year, and she showed up when it mattered the most. And I think that, to me, being a freshman and getting that Women's College World Series experience, taking Oklahoma to, that if game was big for this team. Yeah, they lost, but they beat Oklahoma in Oklahoma City. That was a big kind of gives you that little bit of experience of knowing that, hey, we can do this, we can compete, and sometimes it takes those losses to ignite that different type of fire going into the off season. And the year that they had last year was exceptional with the numbers and offensive numbers.
Hit hard but foul. Going back to last year's Women's College World Series when they beat Oklahoma, it was like 9-3, and then lose in extra innings to end their season. There was a little time in that game before it went to extra innings where I even caught myself like, wow, is this the team that can knock out OU? It was it was so close into doing it.
You and me both.
Maker with her team leading 13 home runs, due up 3rd in the inning. She offered at it. Strike 1 on Riley Holtorf, who has singled, struck out, and scored a run, 1 for 2. I mentioned how well Ava Brown has pitched in relief for Florida, and you can say the same really for Haley Rainey for Auburn.
Yeah, she's continued to find a way to get ahead of these hitters, jump 0-2, and has got them to chase her pitches out of the zone.
One-two count on Holtorf, who's had 2-hit games each of the first 2 games of this series, and looking for her 2nd hit of this Sunday game right here.
Yeah, the walks to me are definitely what end up hurting you. Has only had the 1 and the 2 innings pitched, but moving forward, just being able to shore up that part of the game.
So she started the opening game here on Friday, 5 innings. You mentioned the walk, she had 6 of them, 102 pitches, and then yesterday in relief, walked 4 in an inning and 2/3. No argument from Kendra. 2 gone.
Well, and you will take that if you are Auburn all day, hitting it into herself, automatic out, and puts Taylor Shoemaker up with no one on base. And it's almost like you feel like Taylor Shoemaker is due. Hitless today so far.
Riker chasing the pitching coach comes out for the Tigers with Shoemaker coming up, and I'm sure that's a big part of the discussion here, how to pitch to Shoemaker, who is 0 for 3 today. But take a look at this swing just mechanically, how pretty this is.
It's just everything is in sync and so just beautiful through the zone. Back leg, the pop, the power. Like you can't paint a prettier looking swing, but to me it's that maturity of the type of hitter that she is coming in as a freshman and raking in the SEC, doing well, hitting in that 2 spot behind Kendra Falby. And she did well Friday night. Shoemaker was 3 for 3, had those 2 ribbies, but since then has been 0 for 6, still has 2 RBIs, but haven't seen her unleash on anything.
13 homers, 56 runs batted in her freshman year. The freshman record at Florida for RBIs in a season is 60, so she's right on the doorstep of that. Cheyenne Coyle had 60 in 2011. 17 home runs by a freshman. Coyle hit 17 in 2011 is the record. She's at 13. Pretty good chance at the end of this season she's going to own both those freshman records for the Gators. 2-1 pitch coming from Haley Rainey.
And Coach Walton had mentioned just the best plate coverage of anyone that he's ever coached, like both sides of the plate, up to down, and which makes her tough.
Into right center field, and there's Taylor's first hit of this game and hit number 4 in the series. If you're Haley Rainey, you're like, you know what, I'll take that kind of contact off Shoemaker every time and take my chances. Aggressive Jocelyn Erickson fouls the first pitch. She's 0 for 2 with a walk. Actually scorched a ball last time up, but lined out right at Rose Roach. Ready to reach up over her head and hung on to it. Last year's SEC Player of the Year. Won a Rawlings Gold Glove. NFCA D1 Player of the Year. And now in year 2, the Gators after spending her freshman year with Oklahoma. By the way, when she walked in the 3rd inning, that's her 8th walk of the series. It's insane.
Well, when you have the year that you have last year, you kind of have that target on your back and not wanting to get given those big opportunities to potentially change and shift the dynamic of the game. And to me, that really is, even though they're putting her on base, they would rather sacrifice at times the walk than give her something that she can take out of the yard. So it's being able to respect the fact that, hey, my on-base percentage is still going to go up. I'm getting the walks. I'm not getting to swing it the way I want to, but I get to pass the bat to one of my teammates.
As hard as that was hit, let's see if they score that a base hit. They should, nonetheless. She's on base for the 11th time in 14 plate appearances in this series.
Yeah, turns on this pitch. I think that it's a hot shot, no doubt about it, but I think that Amelia Leck needs to do everything she can to try to glove this up.
They do score a base hit, but the pitcher, Daniel Laurie, is like, I need that play made behind me.
Well, I know it's a hot shot, and sometimes I'm a tough critic when it comes to that stuff, but I can't say that I played first base and had Jocelyn Erickson rockets hit at me, so.
Yeah. So 2 on with 2 outs now for the Gators in the top of the 6th. Here's the cleanup hitter, Reagan Walsh. Full foul. Another danger zone here if you're Auburn, Danielle, because even as it stands right now, you're going to have to score at least 5 runs to win the game. And 1 base hit here, I won't say would put it out of reach, but it would go a long way in doing so.
Yeah. I think if Haley Raines can buckle down and try to roll ground ball, use that drop ball. And you can't say that she hasn't been able to jump ahead of these hitters. She's getting ahead of a lot of them. 0-2, she's ahead in the count, which I think has been probably the most impressive thing that I've seen. I found when she's thrown this weekend at times, it's just those free passes. I mean, she's given up the 10 base on balls, and that has not been the case today. She's been a lot more efficient spotting good pitches early in the count.
Blocked there by Lisenby, and she keeps the runners at bay. Rainey set down the first 2 hitters in.
Really good layout here by Isis Tresvik. So good. Just clutch lead outs are a big deal right now with this being a 1-run ball game. Haley Rainey loving it.
On 1 to Mia Williams. Now a 7-game hitting streak for Mia Williams. That's the active long streak right now on the Gator team. Looking ahead to the Tigers' bottom of the 7th, the bottom 3 are due up. Lisenby, Roach, and Abby Smith. Rainey trying to keep it a 1-run game. Florida has 12 of the game's 16 hits.